The other day, I was picking up someone to head out for a lunch meeting, and I intended to open the passenger side door for them and help them get into the car. I got out of my side of the car, walked around to the other side of the car, and grabbed a hold of the door handle and pulled, and found out that the door was still locked. Well, at this time, the person had already arrived at the car. I didn't have my key in my pocket, so I was going to have to walk all the way back around to the other side of the car, hit the unlock button, at which time it would then be ridiculous for them to wait on me while I walk back around and open the door for them. Locked doors can be a pretty frustrating thing. They can stop the things that we really intend to do, even if we have good intentions. This closed and locked door was definitely a frustrating one for me. The nice thing is, there is something that unlocks that door and can allow for it to be open. It did it in an instant when the button was pushed. I get the sense from Paul's words to the Colossians in our passage today that he was running into locked and closed doors on his mission of spreading the gospel through the Gentile world. After all, he is writing this letter from prison. That is quite the locked door. I imagine, much like the door being locked when I was walking around the car, that Paul's zeal to do the right thing, but the continual running into closed and locked doors was very frustrating for him. And after a while, I'm certain he must have been discouraged. With all the best intentions for the gospel, here he's sitting in a jail cell and having to write letters to connect to the outside world. Paul would have sat and wallowed in his own situation, but rather he knew that there was something he could ask the Colossians to do that he believed would make a difference in his ministry. He asked his friends and companions in Colossae to pray for doors to be opened for the gospel message. Just like the key or the button for a car door that could easily open what was locked and closed, Paul believes that prayer can be the thing that opens a frustratingly closed and locked door. Just like the key fob, Paul believes prayer can do in an instant what all the human effort in the world can never do. It really didn't matter how hard I pulled on that door, it was never going to open. I needed something beyond myself to get the door unlocked and opened. So Paul asked the Colossians to pray for these open doors. And I want to ask you to do the same thing today. Would you pray for open doors for Southridge Church to share the gospel message? Will you pray for the people that worship at Southridge Church to have open doors with the people in their lives to show the life-changing and share the life-changing message of Jesus? But even beyond that, here's my challenge for you today. Make a list of 5 people that need to hear the gospel message. People that are far from God, and perhaps God is not even on their radar. And then commit to praying for an open door to share the gospel with those 5 people until the door opens and you can do just that. You'll be amazed at how God will move and give you open doors to walk through if only you will ask Him for that very thing. It's great to pray for God to open doors for others, but let's not forget, we each have a responsibility to share the message of Jesus in our lives, and for that, we also need open doors.